Jai Shri Krishna. Hello, everybody. Today we have an international parenting coach, Mr. Rajat Soni, with us. He's been empowering Generation Z in for success, has been teaching them how to control their emotions, and so many other things. He's also an author right now. So let's start off with questions. So as teens, we and our friends too have been going through various emotions nowadays. We feel anxious, happy, sad, like very quick. So, and we tend to get angry too at small things. So how do you think we can manage our moods, and how do you think we can indulge ourselves into different activities so that we do not have so many mood swings like we have now?
All right. Firstly, thanks, Pragya and Bridal. I'm super excited to be here with all of you and whoever is watching us. Uh, so, yes, a great question you asked about how to manage your anger. Now, firstly, I want to say kudos to all you teenagers. I mean, it's not easy to survive a lockdown where you cannot go out, you cannot play, you cannot, play your sport, do your sports, meet your friends in person. You're not really going out to the schools. Everything is happening online, and there's so much adjustments you have to make. So kudos to you for that. So it does happen, yes, that sometimes, see, anger comes when a lot of thoughts get cluttered, when we are not sharing things, or when we are not, it's all within us. So a great way to do it is to first, now, just like some of you make your timetables and you prioritize your time, if you can also prioritize your thoughts, wherein you structure your thoughts in a way. So in a day, there is so much that happens. There's some things that are good, some things that are not good, some things you don't like, and focus on how it makes you feel. Anger is what comes on the surface. Beneath is a lot of other things. They may be guilt about something. They may be, they may be something that happened at school, and you feel really hurt, and you feel really hurt about something. Something happened with friends or something that parents said. So it's very important to first understand what's going on in your mind and structure it. Structuring it can beautifully happen by writing. So if you can just write down every night, like a diary, on how everything made you feel, that would be a great way of dealing with anger.
Okay, despite all of this, let's say few of us don't know how to channel it properly, and there's always some problem we face, as in, how to improve our performances in daily to daily activities. How would you motivate all the teenagers to, be at the peak of their performance?
To be at the peak of their performance. Okay, firstly, you need to decide what is your peak, and understand that your peak is your peak. It's not what your parents decide for you, it's not what your peers decide for you, it's what you decide for yourself. So whether it is academics, it's marks. So whenever I start my session with anyone, the first thing I tell them is that. So I'm sure a lot of you who are watching us, they like pizza, right? Though most of you must be missing the outside pizza and all, but like pizza with lots of cheese and it's like oozing out and you just love it. So just like in a pizza, there are various slices. So in our life, there are various slices. And the slices of our life could be anywhere from our family to our friends, to our career, to our academics, to personal growth, things that we want to be more awesome at. And and about fun, recreation. Are you having enough fun in your life or not? Is it very restricted or is it really there? So you decide what is peak performance for you first. So for example, you say, in friendships. Now, friendships is one thing that you decide that this, my best friend got another best friend, and I don't know what to do about it. So decide in friendships what are your goals, right? So if you feel currently your friendships are at a level of 4 on 10, and you want to take them to a 6 or a 7 on 10, what is it that you need to do for that? So you decide first what is peak performance for you, and then you move forward with it. To attain peak performance, there are a lot of skills that you need to have. Skills like setting goals for yourself, managing your time,
Right.
managing your time well, exercising empathy. Okay. Pragya, are you able to see me properly?
No, sir. Your video starts to stop.
Okay. Right. Is it okay now?
No,
No.
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Maybe you could leave the session once and you could come back. Like that usually works.
Okay.
I think it's fine now. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine now?
Yeah.
You can see me moving? Yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah. So when I say peak performance, it's about you deciding what your peak performance is and then working towards it. When you work towards your goals, there are a lot of challenges that you face. It's about how you respond to those challenges and not react to them. So
Right.
I would say that, yeah.
Sir, your video froze again.
Is it okay now?
Like for us, I don't know about the viewers. Like for us, your video froze again.
Okay, you want me to leave and join the session again?
Yeah, that would be great.
We do that. So, once. Is it good now?
Yes.
All right, amazing. So, were you able to get my answer for the peak performance?
Yeah, we got your answer.
Go ahead, yeah.
Alright. So, what do you think today's parents should not do, like to not force their children? What are the things you suggest the parents shouldn't do so that, the students, the people our age, the teenagers, can have the equal amount of trust and confidence and kind of शेयरिंग कैपेसिटी मतलब हम उनके साथ शेयर कर सके बातें ताकि उतना वो प्रेशराइज ना करें हमें व्हाट डू यू थिंक दे शुडंट बी डूइंग और शुड बी डूइंग
हाँ, पेरेंट्स ऐसा बहुत कुछ है जो कर सकते हैं. So unintentionally or always say, I think you would agree that as a teenager, the most common fear that we have is the fear of being judged. We are being judged either by our parents or by our peers. And if parents can kind of understand what's really going on in the teenager's mind, and that they can only understand if they're having the right kind of communication with them.
Right.
So if your child is not understanding you, it's not about him or her, it's about you. You need to change your way of communicating with them. So I would say that the first thing to do is to build exclusive time with the teenager. Exclusive time is where you are stepping, as a parent, you are stepping into the world of a teenager. Whether you know what is the web series they are watching, are they watching Money Heist, are they watching Bandersnatch, what are they really watching? You like Money Heist?
No.
Okay, what's the web series you're watching nowadays?
We don't really have any. We just finished Abroad yesterday with our family.
Abroad, the Amit Saad one, right?
Yeah.
He's become like a web series hero nowadays.
Yeah. They're everywhere.
Yeah, even this one came, no? The Breathe too.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so it's about getting into the world of your teenager, understanding what they are watching, what they like, क्या अच्छा लगता है, क्या नहीं अच्छा लगता है. उसके बाद it's about अब पेरेंट्स बच्चों को तो कभी कभी जज करते हैं, बट वो अपने आप को बहुत जज करते हैं कि हम लोग अब उन लोग की भी एक लाइफ रही है. they've had a life of about whatever 35, 40, 45 years. Now उनको भी एक इम्प्रेशंस फॉर्म हो चुके हैं माइंड में, तो उन इम्प्रेशंस को हटाना पेरेंट्स के लिए भी बहुत जरूरी है. बिफोर दे आर कमिंग एंड टॉकिंग टू यू, to all of you guys, they must clear all that. Either उनको meditation करनी है, उनको music सुनना है, अपना favorite, whatever they like to do, उसके बाद they must come and speak to you, so that they are, they are as enthusiastic and active, and they need to also match the action and engagement of the Netflix and the Amazon Prime that sometimes teens are used to. So yeah, so it's about unjudging themselves. It's about then unjudging you as teenagers. So not to judge you as teenagers, to understand you, to really listen to you out. Exercise and empathy. If you're trying to say something, not to just jump on advice. वैसे भी हमारे हिंदुस्तान में एडवाइस बहुत फ्री की मिलती है और बहुत आराम से मिलती है. सो लाइक सुन तो लो यार उनको, पहले वो बोल क्या रहे हैं, फिर कोई सजेशन दो. It should not be like an order. It should be like a suggestion, and then let the teenager decide whether he wants to, or he or she wants to go ahead with or not go ahead with it.
Right.
एक और चीज आती है जिसको हम कहते हैं appreciation. So अब आजकल बहुत कम हो गया कि हम अपने बारे में अच्छी बातें सुनते हैं. So I do this thing with a lot of the teenagers where I ask them to write their amazing qualities. What is it that makes them really amazing? अब कुछ बच्चे होते हैं, they start off with 1 or 2, 3. Some don't even reach a 5 because they're not used to listening good things about themselves. So as a parent, if we can create that environment where they are listening to good things about themselves, which is genuine appreciation, then that is really, really important over there. So yeah, so all that, and of course, respecting the closed door policy, where sometimes when as teenagers we just are not in a good mood, we just close our room, and then sometimes parents का ego बहुत बार आ जाता है कि what's happened, is she safe, not safe, is she hiding something from us, what's happening. So parents can be more considerate in that area.
Right, makes sense. So amidst all of this complication और मतलब इतना लंबा spiral में, where did you find your entrepreneurial passion in this?
Okay, so I was someone I was working in the corporate world for a very long time. I was into a job, and a really good one, high-paying job. Very happy with it, and I quit my job to be an एक होता है, there is a coach. So now everybody needs a coach. So there are coaches for executives also, CEOs, CFOs जो organization के owners होते हैं, उनको भी coach चाहिए होता है, right? So I stepped out of the corporate world to be a executive coach, and while I was working with one of the CFOs, he shared with me that I want to talk to you about my son, and his son has a special condition which is called Asperger's, which is basically lies in it is called Asperger's. Asperger's is something, in very simple terms, where your brain of the child is wired in such a way that he cannot make social interactions. He cannot talk to people. He loves people. He wants to talk to them, but he cannot talk to people in what to say, what to do. So it's like an extreme level of being socially anxious. Like there are people who are shy. This is the extreme level of being very socially anxious. So he said in that conversation that Rajat, can you help? And honestly, at that point in time, since I was out of the corporate world and I was working only with executives, that was definitely not my area of expertise. But seeing the father so emotional, I did meet the child once, and as I was sharing the goals with him, the different areas, the pizza life with him, and we came to career, and he said that my father wants me to be a doctor, and once I become a doctor, I will leave. So he basically wanted to give up on his life. Because he had faced a lot of rejection for the last 15 years. He was now 15 years old, and he was diagnosed when he was 4 years old. So when he said that, that's kind of hit me really hard, and my journey with him started, and that was the first teenager I ever worked with, and he was really fond of rap. He was a Tupac fan. He loved soccer. He was a Messi fan. So if there are any Messi fans over here, they would know. So he had his own interest. So he was also my first teacher into the teenage world. And then when he, after 6 months of my journey with him, when I saw him, when he underwent a major transformation in himself, where he started living life to the fullest. Now,
Oh, that's
death seemed
amazing.
like, what are you talking about? He just wanted to live and enjoy like any normal teenagers, like we all do. So
Right.
once he saw a transformation, there was a transformation that happened within me. And that's how I started working with teenagers. So it started as a passion. And when it converted into a profession and I became an entrepreneur, it just happened in a flow. So it was not planned, but the way it happened, it just happened in a flow.
Right, right. So, sir, your book Unjudged, Your Teenager has just released. What was your motivation behind the book? Like, was it the COVID-19 that gave your impetus more time to write something so practical and that is the need of the hour? Or you were already planning on this book earlier?
So, like some of us procrastinate, you understand, हम लोग चीजें डिले करते रहते हैं, अब करेंगे, अब करेंगे, अब करेंगे. तो वो मेरे
हाँ.
साथ भी हो रहा था. I was planning the book for the longest time. और मेरा बुक का इनिशियल ड्राफ्ट भी कंप्लीट था फॉर द लास्ट 1.5 years. बस बस समवेयर आई वाज जस्ट सीकिंग कि इसको कैसे ठीक से करें, क्या करें, स्टफ लाइक दैट. सो इट टुक मी टाइम. कोविड was like an opportunity in terms of the lockdown because I could focus on the things which I was not able to focus on before. So I finished the book and I was like ready to get it published. So it was planned before. And the motivation for the book, of course, came out. So I have worked with about 500 families and about 20,000 teenagers so far in my career.
Right.
So based on my interaction with families, the things so the book is about what goes on in the teenager's mind and what goes on in the parent's mind. So it gives an insight to the parents on what is really going on in the teenage mind so it's about creating a better understanding between the parents and the teenagers, and there are some nice fun activities also in it. So yeah, that's what it's about.
Okay. Okay. So, again, how you're talking, I mean, how you just said that the parents need to communicate well with the teenagers, so their relationship and each other's mindsets can be in tune and coordination. What would you suggest would be any sort of tips for the parents to communicate better with the children?
Okay, so as I shared before, there were the 5 ways how you can communicate with your teenager better in terms of building exclusive time with them, in terms of not judging yourself, not judging themselves, appreciating and acknowledging them in communication, and also respecting the closed door policy. What I would add to it is the 3 A's of parenting, which I call it. Uh, Being in the Indian education system, I'm very good in creating short forms because we had to do a lot of mugging up in a lot of rote learning used to happen. So it's called the 3 A's of parenting, which is awareness, acceptance, and action. So becoming more aware of yourself as a parent, becoming more aware of what goes going on in your teenager's mind,
Right.
accepting your teenager as he or she is. Your teenager is awesome the way he or she is. It's about you accepting them as they are and then understanding that your teenagers have all the wisdom in the world. So ask them. So, for example, a lot of things come about screen time. Screen time. Parents are all the time about, the kids are a lot on the screen time. So, what should we do about it? So, I always say that first appreciate what they are getting out of that screen.
Right.
They feel thrilled. They get a lot of thrill from it. There is so much that's happening. So, first understand them and accept that. Then, action is the third step where you actually go and have that communication with them and you ask and you first share that, right, I understand that it gives you a lot of fun and a lot of enjoyment, then ask them what is it they think are the negative impacts of technology. Because you guys know how technology, what is the good of the technology and what is not good, what is the not so good part of it. It is, these days teenagers are getting a lot of headaches also when their day is starting with a Kindle and ending on a phone. So they understand what are the negative impacts of it. So trust them, create that trust between each other, and then sort it out.
Okay. So lastly, so you've been talking to a lot of teenagers and you've been knowing what they are doing and why they're doing. So what do you think is going on a teenager's mind in a regular basis? Like if there's anything in particular that goes on continuously in a teenager's
What are we
mind.
thinking? What is the Gen Z thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to ask you that though, but then, there are a lot of coding classes going on everywhere, so everybody is registered for one or the other coding classes. That's a different thing. But what's going on in their mind? First thing is, when is this gonna get over? When can we go out? When can we meet our friends? When can we play? It's getting irritable. Between siblings, the fights have increased. I hope that's not the case with you guys. But then, so because people are not, you're not used to being together for 24 hours a day. It's like that with the teenagers.
Right.
Other things going on in their mind is, some have been very experimental in trying out new things. Some have become cooks. They're trying to cook things. They're cooking breakfast. They're making things. Some are designing something amazing. So there are MUNs happening now online, and the youth parliaments also happening online. So a lot of kids are involved in their organizing it or chairing it, doing different things. Some are exploring their creative interests a lot in terms of, like you guys do amazing craft work, a little bit of quilling and stuff. So there's one student of mine who aspires to be a singer. Her dream is to be a singer. So she's saying, I've got the time for it. One thing which has happened really is that there is some children are engaged in a lot of things nowadays. So when you're engaged in a lot of things, sometimes it gets very difficult to manage that. So there is a kind of a clutter which is created. There is a kind of aggression that has also come up in teenagers. More in the 16, 17-year-olds, I've seen it, where they're very used to going out and playing. Now they cannot go out. So that aggression is showing, where they're getting a little rude with their parents unintentionally. They're getting a little rude with their parents or things like that. Even parents, for that matter, are losing it a little bit nowadays, where they are getting a little aggressive with their children, because it's not the ideal way you have. But then, as far as we can understand that what is in our control and what is not in our control, this is also a beautiful time. I have seen a lot of parent-teenager relationships becoming amazing at this time, because both are understanding that, like one particular kid, he's a 16-year-old, and he now understands that the way I was communicating with my father was not very clear, and the father realizes that I was judging my teenager too much for whatever actions he had done in the past. So once that understanding came in, now the communication between them is beautiful. So
That's nice.
a lot of things happening nowadays.
Okay. So we have one question from the viewer. When a parent is a school or a university topper and when they talk to their children, how should it be? And if the child is totally opposite, like how should the communication between the parent and the child be? Suppose आप मेरे father हो तो आप एकदम topper हो और मैं I come like last or second last वाला category में. So how would you talk to me? How would you like um tell me कि नहीं बेटा कुछ नहीं होता यार, you would say what is this, what is happening, so what would you do?
Yeah. First, again, it comes to the 3 A's here. First, becoming aware that each person is unique. Yes, your child is your offspring, but he or she is also an individual. They have their own traits, they have their own abilities, they have their own capabilities. So,
Right.
so just because you are a topper, expecting the same from your child is not making any sense for you, because you are not. See, as a parent, your purpose is that your child should be happy in his life or her life. Uh, that happiness comes first, and then your expectations. Uh, Accepting that your child, what are his true abilities?
Huh.
Okay. Also making him or her reflect on what are his or her priorities in life.
Right.
Where does now see, if a child has a goal, if you know what your goal is in life, you know what is taking you towards it and what is taking you away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So making the child reflect on what they truly admire and where academics comes on his or her priority list and how important it is at this point in time, then accepting it as parents. If the child aspires to be a topper, not because his father is, but because he wants to be, then ask the child that what is it that he's doing awesome, what is it he needs to do more awesome. Again, giving himself a score. But if in reaching his dream, academics is not a priority and he's happy with what he's getting, parents should accept it and then take action. Action is shows in their body language, action shows in the parents' behavior. If the parents reflect that empathy, that thing with the child will understand it and there'll be a greater bonding between them.
Okay. Okay. Got it. There's one more question, Kid. Why doesn't the speaker ask the host some questions?
Oh, okay. I want to know one thing. So you both are amazing girls, and you just tell me. I want to know what are you thinking nowadays, and what's been happening in your life nowadays. Very curious to know
So
that.
okay. Yeah. Well, pretty much little. It's basically, at least for me, since I have school. Pragya doesn't have school right now. She's doing her sound engineering course. But for me, it's just wake up, get over with your classes, just take some time for poem, and that's it. That's pretty much all that is. There's nothing going on. Yeah, there's nothing in as particular going on both of our minds. I do, for me personally, I do not want to go out. I do not want to meet people much. And yeah, it's actually fine if we stay home the whole time or we do nothing. That's also good. We're finding it very hard to relate to how you've been telling that teenagers are having problems because they're constrained at home, but we can't relate to it at all. We're like, what? ऐसा भी होता है क्या? We just like things.
Yeah, that's so amazing to know, and you guys are doing a great job. I mean, poem is such an amazing initiative, and it's like the young leading the young, and amazing initiative you've taken, and it's really awesome.
Thank you so much. So we'll be wrapping up the session today. If you guys have any doubts, any viewers, just let us know. Yeah, you have 30 seconds to ask us.
Yeah, whatever you have to ask, please ask.
Yeah, we have some such amazing teen life quotes with us. Why don't you guys ask a few questions about anything you feel like asking about, or you think the session was nice? So give it a thumbs up. You could always follow Rajat sir's Instagram, I mean Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. He's everywhere. You could follow him. You could question him. Do anything. You can text him. You just one text away. And you can also reach us out for the same. It's gonna be on our profile.
Yes, you can text me. You can just send a message to me on Insta, and I'll be happy to respond to any questions that you guys have. And I would love to hear that what has been your biggest takeaway from the session. I'm asking the host, and of course, it'll be very nice if the audience wants to respond. What's been your biggest takeaway from our conversation today? So
So our mother is an adolescent counselor, and She's been into this career for like almost 16 to 17 years.
Wow.
And recently she's just done her, what do we say, degree course in adolescent counseling. And because she's also an adolescent counselor and we're talking to a teen life coach, we can relate to a lot of things that you have said and what she's been doing, why is she doing such stuff, everything. And in day-to-day life, our parents give us a lot of time. Like, मतलब इतना ज़्यादा time, मतलब we did not expect कि we do not hear it from our friends generally. So, as you said, that parents should give time and understand and know what the capabilities of the child is. So, my mother is a topper. She was a topper, Bengal board, and my dad is a successful businessman. And we get time from them. We get understanding. Though obviously they are all regular parents, they will scold us. They will not going to be like
We have
"Okay,
our
we're not
ups and
going to
downs,
do it."
but like,
Yeah.
I think it's going pretty well.
Okay. Wow, yeah, amazing. So Abhilasha is doing a great work, and it's so amazing to hear parents who are so understanding, and so amazing to have a family like that. Beautiful.
Thank you so
Thank
much, sir.
you.
So, as we have no questions, we will
Wrap up the session. Thank you so much for taking your time out for us.
and talking with us. It was great having you with us, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you. It was awesome being here. Such a pleasure. And everyone stay safe and stay awesome.
You
You too,
Jai
sir.
Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri
Jai
Krishna.
Shri
Stay safe.